Okay, in this lecture we're going to be talking about conditional formatting. And conditional formatting is really cool because you can basically apply a format to a bunch of data and it will either color code it or put little icons on it, and it will give you a really strong visual indicator of the values in your spreadsheet. So let's take a look at an example here, and you'll recognize our good old familiar sales rep spreadsheet. And what we're going to do is apply some conditional formatting to their monthly pay here, just to make these numbers stand out so we can really see whose numbers are high, whose numbers are low, and so on. So first we're going to highlight this data, and we're going to go up here to conditional formatting. And you see we have a number of options. First we have the ability to set some rules, and I'll show you how to do greater than or less than rules using this feature. We have top to bottom rules, so you can do like top 10 items, bottom 10 items, and so on in a larger list. And then we have these three presets, and these basically just allow you to apply either data bars, color scales, or icons to your data. So we're going to start at the top here and go create a cell rule. We're going to go to greater than, and it brings up this nice little dialog box, and you can see that Excel has already sort of analyzed the information in here and made some assumptions about it. So it's assuming that we probably want to see all of the cells that are greater than $2,500. And you can see that includes 3 of these, and the other 2 are not included. And then it also just has a default color, so it's going to add a light red fill with dark red text. But we can change this number if we wanted to. We could say anything higher than, say, $2,700, which would rule out this middle one. But that's actually a pretty good number, so I'll leave that there. And then you'll see that there are other options for this as well. So we could go with a yellow, go with just red text. But we'll just go with the default for now. And I'll click OK. And then when I click off of it, you see that the conditional formatting has been applied, and you can see that it makes these numbers that are over $2,500 really stand out. So let's undo our highlighting rule here, and we'll go back into our conditional formatting and check out a top and bottom rule. So let's go ahead and go with a top 10 item. And obviously we only have 5 items here, so we're going to change this, and we're just going to go to the top 2. But we'll do the same thing, same color, do the light red fill with dark red text, click OK, and now you'll see it's done essentially the same formatting but using a different rule. It's just picked out the top 2 in our list. So let's select this again, and we'll add some more formatting. Now the cool thing is you can add multiple conditions to your formatting. So let's go into our presets here. We'll go into our data bars, and the nice thing about these is you can hover over them and it will preview it for you. So these are all just different colors that it applies. And these are all gradient, and these are all solid. So you can see what those look like. I don't need to click on them. But while we have this top 2 formatting in the red laid on there, let me jump to the icon sets and show you what we can do with that. Because this is a case where we can apply multiple formatting without too much overlap and basically muddying things up. So you can see you have arrows, shapes, indicators, and ratings. Let's just go with a simple example of directional arrows. So you can see when I hover over this, in fact I'm going to click on this, you can see that now what it's doing is it's taking the top 2 and doing an up green arrow, it's taking the middle and doing a sideways yellow arrow, and it's taking the bottom 2 and doing a downward facing red arrow. So you can see how this gives you a really strong indication of the different values in this range. And it complements fairly well with our top 2 in red here. So now to get rid of some of this formatting, instead of just clicking the undo button, which doesn't work to go all the way back to something that we did a long time ago, we'll go back into our conditional formatting and we'll say manage rules. Or you can say just clear rules if you want to just get rid of them. But we're going to go to manage rules because we're just going to get rid of one of them. And so you can see our 2 rules that we have set up here. And all we have to do is pick one and delete rule and OK. So now it's taken away our top 2 red ones, and it's just left our icons. So let's go back in and do some more formatting. We looked at data bars. Color scales are similar to data bars, but they just add a full color. And you can see they basically sort according to value. So that's how color scales work. Now let's go look at a new rule, and we can actually create a formula to make a determination about what sort of formatting we're going to have in our cells. And this dialog box gives us a number of ways to modify the rules, but we're going to look at this one at the bottom. Use a formula to determine which cells to format. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to add a formula that's going to determine how these are formatted. So we start with our equals, and we're going to use the function of and, parentheses, and we're going to say E2 equals quote west, comma, and D2 is greater than 2500, close parentheses, and you can see it's showing that there's no format set. So we have to go into our format, and we can format according to number, font, border, or fill. Let's go with a bright yellow, just so it stands out, and we'll click OK. And you can see the preview here, and we'll click OK. And now you can see that what it's done is it's used our formula to pick out only the West region and only the sales numbers that are over 2,500 in the West region. And if you want to look at that again, we can go to our conditional formatting, back to our manage rules, and you'll see our rule is right here. If we click on that and go to edit rule, it takes us right back in here where we can change this to less than 2,500, click OK, and now it's only applying the conditional formatting to the West region that is under 2,500. So that's how you apply conditional formatting to cells. And where conditional formatting becomes really valuable is your ability to apply it to the cells to make it visual, but also to sort your data according to that conditional formatting. So for example, I'm going to take this range here and I'm going to turn it into a table. Okay, I'm going to apply some basic formatting to it. Click OK. You can see that it's added these drop down arrows now, and if I go to this, I can now go to sort by color, and I can sort by any of the conditional formatting that I have on here. So if I want to sort by red arrows, I can do that and it brings my red arrows to the top. If I want to sort by green arrows, I can do that and it brings the green arrows to the top. So when you think about this when applied to a gigantic spreadsheet with thousands of entries, for instance, thousands of sales reps from the East and West regions, if I wanted to find only the sales reps that are in the West region and have sold under $2,500 for this month, then I can just go to sort by color, go to my conditional formatting that applies to those sales reps, click on it, and all of those that are highlighted in yellow are going to jump to the top, and I instantly have my results. So that's how you use conditional formatting, not only to apply strong visual formatting to your cells, but also to use that formatting to quickly and easily sort through your data.